Good morning. I'm Dr. Nikita Deshmukh. I'm an ENT surgeon and consultant in KIMS Hospital, Kondapur, and Sunshine Hospital at Gachibowli. Recently, we have celebrated this No Tobacco Day, and we also have created a number of awareness camps in basically underprivileged areas. And today, I thought I would take this opportunity and tell people regarding the hazards of tobacco. Now, when we think about tobacco, we just think about cigarettes or smoke, but there are other forms of tobacco also, which are non-smoking forms like gutka or masheri, which is usually consumed in rural areas. So now, what are the effects of tobacco and why is it so addictive? Let us try and understand this in this particular video. Tobacco basically contains nicotine and many other toxic chemicals. This nicotine especially has a tendency to bind with the brain receptors, and it has a tendency to create dependence extremely fast. So that is why we see a lot of people who just start for fun, excitement, just to prove a point. They start with smoking maybe one cigarette a day or so, one puff is enough, and then slowly they don't even realize when they go into the addiction and kind of chain smoking. And it's very, very difficult to give up smoking or any form of tobacco once you have started. So, what is the most important thing is that you should resist the temptation in the first time itself when somebody just asks you to have a puff or just try or drag or something like that. Best is to say no at that point. And unfortunately, if you have not been able to resist that temptation at that time, then you should make up your mind and give it up as soon as possible. Now, why am I stressing so much that you should give up tobacco or you should give up smoking? The reason for this is that nicotine has a property to produce DNA related changes in different cells, and these cells then you kind of start behaving differently. They start multiplying more, and that gives rise to the cancerous changes. Secondly, nicotine also has an effect on the immunity. There are some natural killer cells in the body which are basically guarding cells, and these cells have the tendency to go and arrest the mutations or the abnormal growth happening anywhere in the body. So these natural killer cells are also inhibited by nicotine and other chemicals which are released due to smoking or even due to tobacco consumption in any form. So this is one thing. Oral cancer is a main risk. Apart from that, there are other cancers also, not just the mouth, lung cancers, voice box cancers, the stomach cancers, urinary bladder. So multiple organs are involved. Even leukemias are common in people who smoke. And if you give up smoking in a 5-year period, your risk of getting cancer reduces to significantly to about 50%. It's not just oral cancers. There are other problems also. Like you'll get different discolorations in your gums, lips, leukoplakia, melanoplakia, which are black discolorations in the oral cavity. Apart from that, there is increased risk of cardiovascular events like your risk of getting hypertension, heart blocks, myocardial infarction, that is heart attack in simple terms. And also the increased incidence of stroke is also associated with smoking. Hearing loss is also common in people who have smoking habits. So when there are so many problems associated with smoking, is it really worth trying it just for fun or just it's like a style statement, it looks cool, and that is the kind of impression people have. That's why I see so many teenagers, young people, IT individuals who are trying to smoke just to combat the stress or just for the sake of it. It's not worth risking your life or your entire health for this habit. So, in view of this World Tobacco Day, we are trying to create awareness camps in different areas, in different communities, and trying to bring about awareness about what are the hazards of tobacco and the need to identify the need to quit. Now, how are you going to quit if you have got into the habit of tobacco chewing or smoking? There are different ways of doing it. One thing is, of course, you have to have the willpower that you are going to give up smoking. You have to identify that it's required. Secondly, if you understand that smoking is going to put your dear ones, your kids or your parents or your spouse at risk because of passive smoking, that is one important reason why you can give up. And the second important reason is that it's your own health. Nobody else is going to suffer, it is you who is going to suffer. Nicotinics tablets and other form of tablets are available which will reduce the craving for tobacco. So you can go and take the treatment in this form. And there are some breathing exercises also which can help in this. Like there are different programs to quit tobacco. There's a Art of Living Foundation which gives this kind of programs, and I have seen people getting good results with that as well. So breathing exercises can also help you quit. So what is important is the resolve to quit, and I think you should make it. Like it's like now or never. You have to make the resolve and you have to kick the butt. It's very, very important. Yes, it needs a lot of willpower, but it's worth it. It's your life, it's your health, and it's your near and dear ones who are at risk. So please say no to tobacco and say yes to a healthy life. Thank you.